Sissy, once again, it seems like everything in life is cyclical. Stephen King has come back into your professional life.
I'm so lucky. So lucky. Love Stephen King. We were babies when we worked together the first time, and now we're old people. And I think it's even sweeter now.
Talk a little bit about Ruth and, how kind of she interweaves into the story of Castle Rock.
Well, I'm in hopes, not having seen the show, that she kind of she grounds the story. Everything kind of goes around. Ruth is just right where she is, and everybody else is kind of orbiting. And she's kind of in her own world because her world is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. The reason I wanted to do this was when Sam Shaw, one of the creators, and Dustin Thomason talked to me about the character, they said, what they wanted to try to do was, here's a woman which is the most horrible, the paranormal horror of, like in Carrie when she could move things, or just the horror of a mental illness, and that's what Ruth is experiencing. And so I thought it was so clever that they put that kind of horror, the human horror, in with the movie horror.
And what's really incredibly clever about the premise of the show is it interweaves so many of the iconic elements of various Stephen King stories and kind of lays the little groundwork.
We're definitely in Stephen King universe, and this whole show is an homage to Stephen King. And I think that if you're a fan of all of his books and all of his movies and television shows, you will really love this. But if you're not aware and familiar with anything, it will still work for you. That was the challenge for us.
You mentioned the word fan. We are here in San Diego at Comic-Con, and there's about 150,000 fans of the genre who are all around here. Have you talked a little bit about have you ever been to Comic-Con before, and what do you think of this experience?
Well, I've never been to Comic-Con, and this is my first event at Comic-Con, so I really haven't been exposed to anything but wonderful San Diego. So I'll tell you tomorrow.
Well, let me ask you
this. It's going to be great.
Is it guilty pleasure if you could dress up as somebody and walk around the floor, because people are as a myriad of different characters, what would be the one that would kind of resonate with you?
Well, I just passed someone on the street who was dressed as Tinkerbell, and I thought that was pretty cool.
And then just a last question for you. We're doing kind of a wrap up. Looking back, what has been the best career advice someone has ever given you?
The best career advice? Oh, probably to celebrate your successes and don't dwell on your failures.
Awesome. Sissy Spacek, thank you so much.
Thank
Such a
you.
pleasure.